shaking their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wide as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie, Scalisi, and Mandy Jones. Wildflowers.
Welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones. Next to me, as always, is
Bonnie Scalisi. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wildflowers. We're very excited for our guest today, but we're going to plug some stuff first.
yes. What do you got going on, Bonnie?
Hi, your mama's tuning in. Hi, Mary.
What do you want to start with?
I'm going to let you talk about the show that we're in together. So the only show I'm going to talk about this May 20th, which I think is not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. Am I wrong?
You got a
No.
couple more.
It's a
May
month.
20th. It's only April.
Oh, shit.
It's only April 26th today. You got a couple.
All right, then you know what? I'll wait to plug
May
that one.
20th. When is that? What's the show?
Oh, okay. It's. I thought it was in 2 Saturdays. I gotta get
I think
my
you got 3 Saturdays, but go ahead.
organizational skills, but I need to be fine tuned. It's a show, and I did not put down where it is. So
All right, go
I'm
on
really
Bonnie's
passing
Facebook
out of
page.
the park tonight.
Go on Bonnie's Facebook page for the May 20th
Yeah,
show
I'll
information.
say it another time.
2 shows I want to promote.
Really.
It's all good. On Friday, coming up, April 28th, I will be at Sea Cove in Senham Riches. It's a restaurant. They're doing dinner and a comedy show if you buy a ticket at the door. You have to call for reservations in advance just so they could reserve your table, and then you pay at the door for a night of comedy and your food included. Then on May 15th, Bonnie and I will be back at the Avenue. We do a free monthly comedy show at the Avenue at in West Hempstead. And if you're a comic and you come down, you automatically get to be on a future show. And we also raffle off one spot the night of the show. So one audience member gets to perform, and you guarantee get spots on future shows. So that's the May 15th. That's a Monday at the Avenue at formerly G's in West Hempstead.
And what's exciting about that is Eric Haft is headlining.
Yes,
Ooh.
and he's
I love him.
hilarious. Glenn has never seen him, and I was telling
He
him
is
he's
amazing.
he's a physical comic. Like, he's all over the place, and he's hilarious what he's saying, but I was going to say the choreography, but the moves he's doing is just hilarious. Because when I got to claim my spot on the main stage from that contest fucking ages ago, he was, I believe, the feature. And my mom and my
I've just recently
sister,
seen him too.
I could hear them laughing distinctly out of the crowd because he was going on and on talking about the vaccine, and oh my god, it's hilarious. Everyone was in
He's
stitches.
amazing.
So that'll be May 15th at the Avenue.
So don't miss
Avenue.
it.
Yeah, it's a free show.
It's a free show. And your mom was saying the mystery show. It's talking about mine. It's also a dinner. It's a dinner show. So
yes, stay tuned for dinner.
yeah,
It's a VIP.
it's exactly. And hi, Bruno. Bruno is tuning in. And Nancy Weems, how are you? And I just wanted to share something that's I think is really cool. Is this Friday? This is not a comedy show, but I was invited to a premiere for Irene Bramus because she's a friend of mine, and I went to support her when she did her. She did a taping that she's going to try to sell to different networks. It's called Sweetie, and now she's having a premiere party. And Rachel Draft, who's from Saturday Night Live, is the one who introduced her. So there's going to be a lot of celebrities there.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
Possibly
that's such
Amy
a big,
Schumer.
That's awesome for
Yeah.
Irene, though. That's so great. That's so cool.
She and I have what's in common. What we all have in common is she has an autistic brother.
Oh, okay.
She had me on before
I've
COVID.
never seen her. I didn't know that about her.
Yeah, she does a little bit about it in her act.
Okay.
And she had me on her radio show, and before COVID, and I had brought my boys to Brook. I believe it was in Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
Kathy Arnold came because Kathy has a autistic niece, so Kathy's invited to that premiere as well.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And then the other thing,
Red carpet event.
so I never go into Manhattan. So 2 times in this week, and I might have been check my calendar to make sure I'm not fucking it up. This Wednesday, I'm going with Andrea Bryant to see Gutfeld.
Oh wow, that'll be fun.
So she got the tickets, and she's like,
awesome.
so I'm very excited for both of those events.
Hell yeah.
And now we're going to get to our guest.
Yes.
Okay, so he's our friend, and he's a local comedian, and he produces a show monthly in Long Beach. And Long Beach is a really happening area, especially in the summer. So also free shows, correct?
Yep.
Also free shows. So he'll talk more details about it after I introduce him. But it's at a place called the Shore House. Both Mandy and I were privileged enough to perform there, and it's a beautiful venue. The very, very funny Jeff Goldberg.
Okay.
Woo!
Woo!
And as I was saying, I was talking about him on air and introducing him as Jeff Goldblum. And I was like, after I watched it back, I'm like, I said the guy's name wrong like 5 times.
Oh my God.
So
Well, Jeff Goldblum, Glenn loves him because he's
I
very
love him.
sharply dressed.
We all love him.
Like really, he's like, between the shoes and the tailored suits that man has, Glenn's like, oh my God, I would love to have that guy's wardrobe.
And the way he speaks is so cool.
Yeah. Well, I love Wes Anderson, and Wes Anderson always puts him in his movies. So enough about Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldberg is here with us.
Goldberg.
So first of all, you gave a shout out to us when you started your Long Beach show.
Yep.
When did you start doing that? What month was your first month? Do you remember?
I think it was October of last year.
Okay, so Jeff does a monthly show at Long Beach, just like we do at the Avenue, where it's free for everybody to come down. He pays the headliner. You get a comedy show during the week. I felt like I was, like Bonnie said, like it's such a happening town. I felt like I was on vacation when I went to Long Beach. Everyone's in flip-flops. Everyone's in surf, paraphernalia. And I just felt like they got the doors open. It's windy in there.
And now, because of COVID, almost everything is not open late anymore. And the Shore House is one of the few places that is open late. Like, I believe they stay open till 2 o'clock.
No, I don't think so.
Bonnie
Actually, you know what?
Bonnie's a night
I don't know. I don't know
I'm a night person.
because after the show is done, I cut out. But they might be open
They don't
later.
close their doors like the other places push you out early, especially on a weeknight. So I love Bruno's. What do you call those?
His avatar.
Avatar, and Bruno is amazing. Thank you, Bruno. Nancy Weems was saying something about Long Beach and Autism Month. Yes, April was Autism Month, and that's why people. If you're wondering why people are talking about autism more than normal, it's because this is it's the month where everybody wears the blue hearts and talks about awareness.
Yes.
That's the word I was looking for.
I get it. I don't have a brother, but if I did, I'm sure he'd be autistic.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I have a sister.
Okay.
She's retarded, not autistic.
And how
Not to steal your joke, but
how old is your sister?
well, that's a good question. She's
in
62.
That's older than you?
Younger.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just the two of you.
That's enough.
Did you grow up on Long Island? I never even asked you this.
I did not. I grew up in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
moved-
been to Chicago.
It's a lovely city.
Windy city. Were you in the suburbs of Chicago, or you were in the city of Chicago?
I grew up on the north side, at the far north side, which is the edge of Chicago. Everything after that is suburbs. Then I moved to New York, stayed here for 10 years, then moved back for 4 years and lived in suburbs. But I miss New York so much that I had to be back here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you have your kids in New York, or they were Chicago?
Here in New York.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They've been to Chicago. They
So
like it, but
what made you come from Chicago to here?
my stepfather's business was opening up a division here, and they sent him to open it up here. So he brought us out, and he and my mom hated it here, just despised it.
Really?
And they moved back after 3 years, and I stayed.
Oh, okay. And how old were you at that time?
When I stayed, when they left,
Yeah.
I was 20.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we would consider you a New Yorker. New Yorkers are like I think
You don't have an accent. Hi, Andrew.
I
How
think
are
once
you?
you're in New York a long enough time, you get, because there are some places like Tennessee and stuff. My stepdad's like you'll never become a Tennessee
Oh yeah,
resident.
People
Like
don't-
you could live there, but you'll always be a transplant. Like
Yeah.
you'll never be.
people think we have accents, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
I've been told I have an accent, and so have you, and we talk differently. But you talk like the people on the news, so
That's because I'm from Chicago. I pronounce C-A-R, car, as opposed to car. You have a slight Long Island
I
accent.
pronounce car.
Yeah.
I think I definitely have the Long Island coffee. Oh, you know what? When somebody when it'll post like a random thing and it'll say, "Oh, one of your friends commented on this," just because it's your friend. It's like who interacted with it. It was what bothers you? It was something somebody says that bothers you, and Terry McNeely's mom wrote, "When people don't put the T in important." They just say important, and I'm like, oh shit, I think I do that. I'm like, as soon as she read that, I'm like, oh, important. I'm like, oh fuck, I definitely am not saying both those T. Important.
Yeah. No matter where I am, I'm
And
told
here-
I have an
and
accent.
here I'm telling Jeff to share the show on his page, and I don't think I shared it on my page.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
don't know how. What
Yeah, this
button?
one here. Yeah.
But it goes to Messenger.
No, it'll
Oh,
go
okay,
there.
so-
I know it's confusing though. That is confusing.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Because then
Get Zuckerberg on the phone.
Okay, so you lived in Chicago, you lived in
Exactly.
New York. Have you lived anywhere else in any other states?
No, it was here. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I lived in California for a year or two when I was a kid. My stepfather's the one who moved here, but my real father decided to open up a business out in California. We moved out there. Didn't work out. I think we lived in San Francisco for about a half year, and then LA for like a year and a half, and then we came back to
that's
Chicago.
a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
What's the best trip you've ever taken?
I really like Martinique. I'm sorry, St. Martin. St. Martin's the best.
Oh, I've never been there,
Yeah.
but I heard it's really pretty.
It's lovely, and every vacation I've ever taken has always been like a beach vacation because I love the beach. That's why I live at the beach.
Oh yeah, because
But,
Long Beach is like living at the beach.
I live on vacation. That's what I always say. Yeah. But last summer I took my first what I call cultural vacation. I took my oldest daughter and we went to Athens and Rome
Oh, wow.
for 2 weeks, and just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Just,
that is
really
so,
fantastic.
that's awesome.
Hey, Peter Wolfinger, he has some kind of icon, but I can't
Oh,
see
he's
it.
cheersing beer mugs.
Hey, and Chris Smith, hello. Nancy Weems says now back in Florida, home state, and can't get rid of it. Peter also is from Florida. A lot of people from New York are moving to Florida. So what do you think as like living in Long Beach? Is that kind of like Florida, but you don't get the humidity and you get to have some seasons? What do you think?
We get plenty of humidity in Long Beach.
But only during the summer.
It's Florida without the palm trees, which is what I miss. And there's certainly a different political attitude there. Every time I go to Florida, I always say I should live here because I love being in the water, and I do go in all year round with wetsuits. But I left once to go to a seminar in mid-December, blinding snowstorm here. I get there and I'm in the ocean later that day, and I'm like, why do I live anywhere else?
Right.
But it gets really hot in the summer, and my kids are here, and so I'm here.
Okay.
I like New York.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I really haven't been too many places to compare it to. But Peter said he agrees that St. Martin is amazing.
It's incredible. I've been to most of the Caribbean islands. I've been a lot of places for business, but St. Martin is my favorite island. It's fantastic.
Is there like a special all-inclusive hotel you stay at, or?
We did not stay at an all-inclusive. I actually don't remember the hotel, but I know there's a string of beaches there. I think there's 5 beaches, and
everything's clean at the beach.
very clean, and massages on the beach, and it was just fabulous. There was a little town, and I'd have to call my ex-wife because every time I bring up this town, I forget it. She always remembers it. But we would go there at night for dinners, and every restaurant was better than the last. It was just phenomenal. Nice people, just lovely.
I recently went to Long Beach with my daughter, and we had lunch at one of the restaurants when you make the left turn. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was right on the water.
On the boardwalk?
No, it's like when you come to Long Beach, and you can either make a right and go to Long Beach, or you make a left and go that way.
That's Point Lookout.
Point Lookout.
Yeah.
Towards Point Lookout.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it was
Yeah,
almost
there's
like we were on vacation.
Yeah, there's lots of great restaurants there.
It was really cool, so I definitely recommend there. Nancy said she went to California a couple weeks ago, but as far as the beach, everybody is different. I hate the beach, and I hate everything about it.
Wow.
But I like eating at restaurants that are on the water. And
Freeport's nice.
yeah,
Have you ever gone there?
I've been there.
The Nautical Mile, there's
The Nautical
restaurants.
Mile,
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't like the beach?
I hate the beach. I
Oh,
hate
boy.
almost everything about the beach. I hate being in the sun. I hate the sand. I hate carrying all the crap to get to the sand. I just hate it. And I like the pool. I like going to the pool, and I like even better indoor pools. I hate being outside. I don't know, but that's why I live in I guess central Nassau. So I don't care that I'm not. If I want to go near the water, I will. But I'm not like loving the water. But if you love the water, Long Beach is the place to be.
There's two places I feel most at home. One is in the ocean, and the other one is on the comedy stage. Those are
Oh,
both.
nice.
Yeah, I love being in the water. I don't sit in the sun as much as I used to when I was a kid, but given where I'm a block from the ocean, so I can walk down, take a swim. I don't have to lug anything. I have a locker at the beach. I'm not in actually Long Beach. It's a Long Beach mailing address. It's actually East Atlantic Beach, and the beaches are private, and we each have a little locker where we can keep chairs and stuff like that. So I'm not lugging too much. And like I said, walk a block, take a swim, come back home. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's a big difference when you have to like park, because
Oh.
now the parking is crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a hot day, you might get there and the parking lot's closed, and you can't even get in.
Yeah,
So
gotta have a friend with a driveway.
I live in a house where I could walk to the town pool, and I am a member of the town pool, and no one ever goes during the day. So, and then I barely go. Like I could go, and I just never do. Maybe once a summer, but I guess some people are water people and some people are not.
So what do you do during the summer? Just sit in the house and pray for it to be winter?
I keep the air conditioner on, and I don't know what I do. I sleep late. I get up, and then I just go into the nighttime.
Life's good.
Yeah, but how do you deal with the sun? Do you get burned?
Yes, I will get as red as this button right here, and I have a couple of times.
Same with me.
And both my mom and dad have had nothing major, but minor surgeries for. My mom had to get something cut like into
Mohs
off her
surgery?
knee. Yeah, her knee, and my dad has gotten stuff off his ears and his face.
Yeah.
And I've gotten burned a couple of times bad when I was a kid. I remember the worst was Glenn and I. We went down south for spring break. We drove to Myrtle Beach from Stony Brook, New York, and we went and saw my friend in Virginia on the way, and we stopped and saw her for like a day, and then drove through the night to get to Myrtle Beach. Got there, we're like, oh, we're gonna set up camp, and then we're gonna go to the beach. I put sunscreen. I have a tattoo. I put it on my tattoo and on my face, and I put it on Glenn, all on Glenn. And then
Because you're both so white.
we're both as white as this paper. And fall asleep. I wake up.
Uh-oh.
My skin couldn't move. I was like, babe, we gotta go. The sun was like setting.
And
like,
that was with the suntan lotion?
Oh my god, I didn't have enough suntan lotion on. He needed a reapply, but the worst was right on his belt line.
Oof.
Was
Oh,
so
boy.
red. He was tucking his shirt into his underwear the rest of the trip. And then I got so sun poisoned.
Wow.
We went to dinner. I was green. I went through every color of the rainbow.
Yeah.
I got so red. I was so sick. It was the worst. And then we drove back, all the way back upstate to get to, it was Easter at the end of Sunday, that end of the trip. And Glenn's whole family, they were like, Mandy, what did you do to yourself? Like, oh my God. Because at that point now I'm peeling and blistering.
Oh, yeah.
I was
and
like,
then,
I
and
swear
then it flakes
never
off
again.
after.
Yeah, oh my God.
I'm the same as you, and it takes so much effort to put the suntan lotion on, and then, but I have burned just like you, and I did have to have Mohs surgery on my face. I had like a little freckle on the side of my nose, and they're like, yeah, that has to come off. And that was like 3 years ago or whatever it was, and I'm like, I had to see a plastic surgeon after that
Yeah.
because it was like right on the little tiny thing of your nose, and if they cut too much of your nose off, you're gonna look funny. So I had to go from the cancer place to the plastic surgeon. But you don't worry about anything like that when you're soaking up the sun?
I don't sit
Not to
in
be
the
a downer.
I don't sit in the sun as much as I used to. I have an umbrella now, but I do put on suntan lotion. You know, I always use like 70 or 100 SPF, and I use the spray because I don't like rubbing it all over myself. But
Oh, the
really,
spray is a great
when I was a kid, I used to sit and just tan for hours. But
We
now,
used to put baby oil on ourselves.
oh yeah,
I have no
absolutely.
idea
Or
what
Bain de
that-
Soleil, which was
So
a killer.
terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Welcome to the WebMD podcast. Hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, there's funny things, great things about the water, and terrible things about the water. So
Are you worried about like sharks if you go in?
I hate going in the water. I hate the sharks. I hate the seaweed. I hate like the garbage that's in there. It's like disgusting.
So you're not going to be visiting anytime soon?
Hot that you kind of have to put your feet in there. And then I've been sucked away by the undertow.
Ooh.
And when I was a kid, and then like dragged under and almost drowned a few times.
Wow.
Oh, God.
So I don't like the ocean.
I get it. See, and I like to swim way far. If the guards aren't whistling me back in, I'm not happy. And usually I've had a bunch of tequila and I'm just like out of my mind. So that's what I love.
That's not a good idea, Jeff.
I didn't
Drunk
say-
swimming around.
I didn't say I'm smart. I just said I enjoy it.
That's dangerous.
Your mom said I worry about the sharks. Jaws ruined me. Yeah, after I saw Jaws, I was worried also.
It does give me pause.
And there have been sharks on Long
Oh,
Island.
Oh, last
They've
summer
kicked us-
there was like a lot.
They closed our beach several times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to the beach after work a couple times. I'm like, just to get the day in. Like, I just don't want the day to be a complete, garbage work day.
Like,
And
do
I'll
something
just,
fun.
I'll just go jump in the water, not even stay, not even lay out, and just float around. I like to float when I'm in the water.
Yeah.
And,
It's relaxing.
And my friend was like, aren't you worried about like all the shark attacks? I'm like, what? She's like, there's like 26 shark attacks like yesterday. It was not. She was talking about like the last couple months. I'm like, all right, but you gotta know in Long Island, Long Beach, everywhere, a shark attack could be. It bit your arm. Didn't take your arm off. You didn't. Of course it sucked. You got.
Oh my
So
God.
anything's an attack. Any encounter is an attack. So
Well,
you got. So some of them weren't that bad. That's what we got.
We're in their
Right,
home.
exactly.
We're
What else?
invading their home.
I
Right.
mean,
We're swimming where they pee.
Yeah.
I don't
And they-
expect. Yeah. No.
It's like we're the unexpected guests for dinner, and then if they're in a bad mood,
Well, people go whale
Yeah.
watching. Like, that's fucking scary to me. Like,
I love
would-
whales.
They could probably.
Would you go whale watching?
They
I've
could
done
probably
that, yeah.
dump the boat.
We actually have whales that come by, whales and dolphins that come by.
Really?
Oh yeah, I can stand on my beach. Not every
I've
day,
seen
but yeah.
definitely-
on Long,
dolphin down
on
there.
Long Island.
At my beach, I can stand and watch whales going by and dolphins.
Whales?
Absolutely,
You
it's the
gotta go
coolest.
FaceTime next time there's fucking whales.
That's cool.
My mom says, worry about the shark. Oh, sorry, that's the same thing. you
Nancy
already
Bean
read.
says a beautiful day today, sitting on my deck. Yeah, that's another thing is I have a nice backyard and I hardly ever go out in it. And then the few times when I go out, I get bitten by mosquitoes, and they just come at me.
Yeah.
And I get bitten all up, and then for the next couple of days I'm itching. So Michael bought my boyfriend. I don't know why he's not tuning in. He's probably, I don't know. He bought me.
He's
this
doing an
thing.
open mic.
He bought me this thing that you sit in it. It looks like a kid toy, and it's a zipper, almost like a tent, but
Okay.
it has screening.
Okay.
And you open it up, and you could put your chair in there, and then zip yourself up, and then the bugs can't get you. And I go, my neighbors that live next to me, they can look over and see because my houses are not spaced apart. I'm like, I'm gonna look like a moron, like sitting in this thing.
In my pod.
It's like a pod, like to protect me against the insects.
My
What's the
bug
point
pod.
of being outside? It's kind of like I'm in a. It's kind of like with COVID when they made the outside structures outside.
Right, you're gonna go sit in a little tent on the
I'm gonna
sidewalk.
zip myself up so that the mosquitoes don't get me with my chair.
Like an all-body mask.
Yeah, yes. The only thing that fits in there is one chair, not even a place like to put drinks or stuff. So I'm like, I thanked him for it, and I have not used it since. I've never used it. But who knows? I might use it in the future if I get a really bad bug bite. I might take it out.
Wouldn't it be too late at that point?
Well, it would. I'm kind of what is it called when you're playing with the gun?
Oh, Russian roulette.
It's like Russian roulette. I'm waiting to see if that bug bites me.
Well, if you'd like to come to my beach, I'll carry you. I'll put a blanket under your feet so you don't touch the sand, and you can put on your pod. I won't be embarrassed.
I'll climb on your back. You get me to
I'll
the
put you in the
bow.
little wagon that I bring.
Oh, I have
Water.
a beach story for you. When Alexis was little, my daughter, I took her. She loves the beach. A complete opposite. And my sister loves the beach. So they would always drag me. So Alexis got this umbrella. She bought it with her own allowance. A big umbrella. I'm carrying it, right? We get to I think we went to Jones Beach, and they have a certain one they want to go to. And we lay out the chair, and we're putting the umbrella in there, and then a wind came by.
Oh my God.
And the umbrella, which we bought at BJ's, snapped in half.
Oh no.
And it was really hot. And I was the person who was supposed to watch all their stuff, so they could go in the water and play. And I was like, I can't sit at this beach without an umbrella. I just can't. Like, we just got here. It's already too hot for me. So I just took this giant umbrella, like it had a stand this big, and I was like going like this underneath. It was like people were looking at me, and I didn't care.
Well, you'll be safe with me because I have an umbrella that has a contraption that it can be a hurricane, and this thing isn't blowing away or breaking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, you're
Because I've had too many that get pulled out by the wind and they go flying down the beach. It's crazy.
it
Yeah.
could be dangerous.
And even
Yeah.
even
They're
when
like
you screw them in.
umbrella torpedoes.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
what I thought you were gonna say, because they become like a fucking weapon.
It's a projectile.
Spear.
Yeah, exactly. They become what are they called when they fly?
A projectile?
Projectiles. They're flying projectile spears. Nancy said Bonnie get out of there if there's a breeze blowing. If there's a breeze, then it's not that bad. But a lot of times there's no breeze. But it comes and goes. That day they had a breeze, broke my umbrella, and then there was no breeze. So,
Screwed.
It is. I don't know. It is what it is. So Nancy's telling me to go out. Oh, has anybody heard me this whole time?
I just realized my mom knew about the mystery show, so they obviously heard something.
I am not having a good day today. Everything is going wrong today. Oh, but I did want to share some good news. I got a phone call. I told Mandy already that, my older son, we're talking about autism. See the cup? He went Tuesday. Yes, he went yesterday to have dinner at the group home to see if he's a fit.
Okay.
And they liked him. And then the guy who runs the home called me today, and he said, I want him to do an overnight. And I was like, I'm thinking next week, whatever. He goes, as soon as possible. Like, these things move. So he goes, could he come in tomorrow? So I'm like, okay. So my older son is going to be sleeping over at the group home tomorrow night.
Wow.
How old is he?
He's 29.
Nice.
When it was his birthday, I told everyone he was 30, and I realized I told everybody he's a year older than he really was. So he's going to be 30. He's 29. And then I mentioned to them about his brother, and I brought his brother to drop him off, and they said, were you serious about wanting to put Brandon in? Because I'm like, here's another one for you.
Yeah.
And I said yes, and they're like, well, we might be able to help you with that.
Wow.
But I'm just I just want to do one at a time. So get this done, and But Josh, when we were leaving him there for him to have dinner, usually Brandon stays wherever. We took Brandon with us. He had this look of terror and sadness, and I was like, oh man. And then the guy had my number, and he's like, I might call you if he starts acting up or whatever. A whole hour went by, and we hadn't heard from him. So we went back to the house, and we called him, and he said we were having such a great time that I didn't need to call you.
Oh,
Wow, that's great.
So they liked him.
That's good to hear.
Liked him. So Nancy Weems says my autistic grandson is now a licensed driver. Oh,
that's great, Nancy. And Nancy, throw in here if you could, or later when the show's done, the bike that her son is building. It's fundraising for autism, and
Wow.
her son builds custom motorcycles, and people, I was gonna say bet people, whatever
Bid?
bid Spin is the word I'm looking for. And yeah, and then all the money that they raise goes to different, they're
that's
doing
so
a lot
nice,
of stuff
Nancy.
with, Forgotten Angels too, which is people, kids in orphanages and stuff that they
Wow.
that they
Lovely.
actually, kids that come out of foster homes and stuff and have nowhere to live. They set up housing for these kids. So her son is amazing, and right now they're building a bike or just built a bike for autism.
That is so cool, Nancy.
You got to love that he didn't have to call you, that he was having a good time. I took my kids on the Disney cruise once, and
Oh, how is that?
it was awesome. It's the only cruise I've ever been on. I took them 3 days in the park and then 4 days on the boat.
There's always activities and stuff.
Just an amazing incredible customer service. But the reason I'm telling you this is there's a Disney island in the middle of the ocean, and they take you there, and you get to spend the day on this Disney island. It's only Disney people are there. And I dropped my kids off at this place, you dig for like dinosaur bones and stuff like that. And I've already been with them for like 6 days. I'm like ready to shoot myself because I adore my kids, but 6 days straight, it's like, okay, Daddy needs a break. So I get to drop them off at this kind of camp thing, and they give you a pager just in case,
Yeah.
I lay down at the beach for like 10 minutes and the pager's going off. I'm like, oh, fuck me.
God.
And
No.
and I go back. I said, is something wrong? No, your kids just wanted to talk. I said, is everything okay, guys? We miss you, Daddy. I'm like, oh, okay. I love you too. Come on, let's go.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
So I love that your artistic kid was fine. And
Yeah, he likes parties and things. But Josh is a very social kid. He likes to be around people. But, I think at first he was just like, where are you going? Like,
Yeah.
why? If I bring him to a party, I usually stay. So I was like, I'll see you soon. It's like, it is what it is.
does he know he might live there?
I told him, but I don't know how much he understands. So, and I don't want to jinx anything.
No, got it. Fingers
All
crossed.
right, so tomorrow he'll go and
My
sleep
fingers
over.
crossed.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Super.
So your mom was saying that a lady got killed by one. I think she's talking about the umbrellas.
God.
Or the sharks.
Is that true? Oh my God.
I guess I
You,
feel like
you're
the only
expected to
method-
get eaten by a shark, but not
When you
killed
get-
by
yeah.
a projectile umbrella.
Can you imagine walking into the emergency room? There's an umbrella sticking through your belly.
They probably have
Beach,
seen that. The
I'm sure they
emergency
have.
room stories, they've seen everything. They've seen everything. So how did you get the Shore House? Like, what was the idea of when you went in there, you decided to make a show there? Was it something that happened, or like?
No, I hadn't picked that place in particular. It was my desire to have stage time. Because as you guys know, it isn't easy getting booked unless you do bringer shows, which I
Bringer
refuse to
shows
do.
are so hard.
Not doing them. So I was talking to friends, how am I going to get stage time? Unless there's somebody who really likes you and decides to put you up, it just doesn't happen. So he said, why don't you produce your own show? I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm looking to make money here. Just produce a free show, and that way you get stage time every month. I said, oh, brilliant. So I walked to a place, Bright Eye Beer Company, which is a lovely brewery. Spoke to people there, and they said, here's the email address of the guy who books all the entertainment, so get in touch with him. So I sent him an email, never got a response. So I said, okay, we got to do something else. So I walked into the Shore House. I'm just walking down the street in Long Beach. Walked in. It looked like a nice place I'd never been in before. And I went up to one of the waitresses. Who could I speak to about possibly doing a show here? And she goes, oh, see that guy out there getting on a bicycle? He's the owner. You need him. And I'm like, oh.
About to leave, go front.
He was actually getting on his bicycle out front. He had just walked out with it. And I said, oh, when will he be back? She goes, hold on. And she went running out front and got him. He came back in, and I said, look, here's my idea, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, let's do it. Like one conversation, and boom, it was born. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Yeah,
what's great about Long Beach is, because I've gone there a bunch of times, it's the apartment buildings that are there, there's like a lot of people in a small area. It's like a city almost.
We fill the place every week, every month. I think I started doing it in October, so what is that, like 8 shows or something like that? I had one show that 5 people showed up. Every other one, every seat is filled.
Is it always on the same?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's always
One or
on
the
a
other.
Tuesday or Wednesday, like
Yeah.
at the beginning or the end of the month, or it kind of varies?
Well, we did the first one, I think, in the middle of the month, so I just do it on a monthly basis. And I just asked him, what's your least busy night? And he said it's usually Wednesday. I said, how about if I bring in an audience? I'll produce a comedy show. You put up $100. I'll bring you a headliner. I'll get everybody else to do it for free. And he said, let's give it a shot. And the first one went so well that every month he books again.
That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, it's too much fun.
And do you have people after the show like that talk to you, like the audience? Because I
No,
know when
nobody
I-
likes me.
When I was there, I saw there were a lot of people in the audience. It was like quite a crowd.
We got a crowd. Yeah,
Is
sure.
it the same people or different people?
Surprisingly, I thought it would be all the same people every time. There is a small group of women who come to every show, which I really appreciate. But usually it's just different people. Yeah, it's too much fun. And I'm promoting it on Facebook. I put up a couple of flyers. They put them in their bathrooms. I put one at the library and one at the Starbucks, and people just show up.
That's
People love
awesome.
comedy, and I think people love free.
You think? Yeah. The
Yeah.
free part is great.
Yeah, and the food's good, and the drinks are good, and it's a friendly place, so it all works.
And it stays open late.
Apparently it does.
Yeah.
Being an old guy, I'm ready to go to bed. When that show ends, it's like, okay, let me get home, unload my car, and it's time for bed.
So one of the things I notice you always post about is your dog. So tell us about your dog. You always call him Beach Pug.
Right. So I have
Is that his name?
No, his name is Duke. He's a black pug, and when I first got him, he's a rescue. He had been wandering the streets of Nacogdoches, Texas.
Oh, wow.
They found him there, shipped him up to Boston, and I found him on a rescue site, and I drove up to Boston and got him. And of course, where do I walk him? On the beach, and it turned out he really liked it. So I let him decide. We could go one way, which takes us toward the bay, or the other way, which takes us toward the beach. I let him decide where we were going to go, and 90% of the time, he drags me to the beach, and he loves walking around in the sand and peeing and pooping, and he won't go in the water, but he'll go up to it, and then when it comes up, he runs away. So I just started calling him the Beach Pug, and a friend of mine,
You should make like a whole, like stories about him.
Beach Pug merch.
Exactly.
So a friend of mine who used to live down here and now lives upstate wrote to me one day and said, could you possibly go just take a picture of the waves? Because I miss the ocean. So I went down with the Beach Pug, and I said, wow, rather than a picture, let me just take a video. That way she'll have sound. And I said, oh, let's get him first. So I get him walking along the beach towards the waves. Then I get the waves with the sound. Then
It's
I
very
do him
relaxing.
again. It's beautiful. And I sent it to her, and I posted it on Facebook. And it got such a great response that now I do it all the time. And people love the beach. I post it on
I don't love the beach,
TikTok.
but I love to watch it from Facebook, where it's safe. So my boyfriend is tuning in, and everyone's ribbing him because he's late.
Tardy, Michael.
Tardy for the party.
Michael.
Tardy for the party. And Nancy Weems says Florida has a bog beach. I don't know what that is.
Bogs?
Oh, is that like marshy beach?
Ugh.
Oh, that's like
yeah.
that's
sounds gross.
Slimy.
Well, that's another thing is that's better. Long Island is better than Florida in that we don't have like crocodiles and giant. I mean, we have bad insects, but not giant ones like that you've never heard of, right? So that's another plus to the Long Beach.
Woohoo!
And they have snakes down there too.
Snakes, crocodiles.
Beach pug would get
Scorpions.
eaten by a crocodile.
He's pretty vicious.
No, but you ever see videos? It'll be people. They'll go after dogs, crocodiles, or alligators.
There's a
whatever.
video on
It's
TikTok of a
rough.
guy who jumps into a lake. He pulls out an alligator with his dog in his
Oh
mouth.
my
He
God.
pries it apart
Oh my
and saves
God.
the dog. You've never seen it? Oh, it's
Dog
yeah.
eaten.
No, the dog's fine.
Oh,
But he pries the crocodile's jaws apart. It's a smaller crocodile,
Oh my- but
and
still.
saves the yeah, of course.
Still, it's a smaller croc.
I give him kudos because I wouldn't be brave enough to pry the things open. I'd probably be running in the other direction screaming. But Nancy Weems corrected me. She didn't say bog beach. She said dog beach.
Ah.
That's a big difference. So
Well, it's actually illegal to
I
take
was
the
just
dog
going
on
to
the beach.
say you're not really supposed to.
No. He doesn't go on the beach from Memorial Day to Labor Day unless it's really early or really late at night, because you can get a very expensive ticket. I've always wondered, by the way, what happens when the cops come up to you on the beach? Give me your license. I'm walking the dog. What's your name? Bonnie Scalisi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we're gonna walk
Okay,
you back.
They don't ask to see your license.
They saying if you don't have your
Why would
ID
you?
on
Why would I carry my driver's
I
license
think
when
they
I'm walking my
probably give
dog?
you shit, you're probably supposed to always have your ID, right?
I don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
But during
would
the
make-
summer, I don't take them during the
Yeah,
day
it's
because
not worth
I don't
it.
need the aggravation. But from Labor Day is at the end of the summer, right? So from Labor Day to
Yeah.
Memorial Day, we're usually there 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Michael, I don't remember which beach we were at. Maybe you could type it in. But Michael likes to take me to these places that are like in Nassau County, beaches that nobody really knows about, like not that many people. And we took the boys there, and somebody was walking their dog, little dog, on the beach, but they didn't have him on a leash, and the dog started to come up to Brandon, and Brandon, for some reason, is afraid of dogs. I don't know why. Like, he used to love them. Now he's afraid of them. And it was not summer yet. It was like spring kind of, but the water's like freezing at this point. He saw the dog coming, and the dog wasn't even coming at him. He was just like free. He saw the dog, and he just started running into the water. And he ran all the way into the water. Up
The
to
dog
his
did or
waist.
Brandon did?
Brandon.
Oh, Brandon did.
And I start screaming. I'm like, Brandon, get back here. I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, near Ransom Beach in Bayville.
And was it cold?
It was freezing.
Oh my God.
So he comes back out of the water, and I didn't have a change of clothes for him. So we drove back to Michael's house, and we put all of Michael's clothes on him. And then Michael wanted to see if he was thinking about what he did, because we usually either walk trail by his house. They have these cool trails that are in the woods, or the beach. So now he's in nice clean clothing, and he goes to Brandon. You want to go to the beach, or do you want to go to the trail but with the trees? And he goes, trail, trees, and he didn't want to go to the beach. So bringing the dogs,
Well, it's
Do you have him on a leash? Michael said it was
Yes.
a private
yeah,
beach.
and even
Yeah,
though
sometimes
they-
I let him off, but
But even
usually
though
I
your
keep him
dog
on
is
the leash.
little and looks harmless, people need to have their dogs on leashes.
Yeah, it's the
not
law.
Okay, it's really not.
Yeah. But-
And especially, it's not even. I don't think that they go after a person, but after another dog.
They could,
You know,
yeah.
it's just not.
Yeah, there were other dogs also there. So Michael said it was a private beach for Piping Rock Golf Club, and Danielle Miller said my boyfriend works there. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, at the beach club. That's funny.
At the place where Brandon ran into the water, or on Long Beach.
At the golf course.
At
you're
the-
talking
oh,
about.
at the
I don't
golf
know.
course. Okay.
I have no
cool.
idea. You want to show everybody the beach pug?
This was during the pandemic
Yes.
too. Everybody was like,
How old
go
is your
walking around
dog?
thing.
Can you hold that up
Oh,
to the
the dog
camera?
is
Oh my
adorable.
God. That's so funny.
How old is he? I don't know. 9 or 10, we think.
Oh, okay, right. 'cause
He's
you
a
got
rescue.
him, yeah.
We'd have to cut him open and count the rings to really know for sure.
So, do you live in one of those big high-rise buildings?
House.
Oh, a house. Okay.
House, driveway.
I just saw Donna
Moran.
Moran's house.
Lovely, right?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's at the
beautiful.
other end.
That's like.
That's the east end. I'm in the
close
west
to
end.
where Brandon goes to camp. He goes to Camp Anchor.
Oh, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is in Lido. Like it's
Sure.
across by the water. And that
one with the
camp
big
is
mushroom
killing me
things,
with-
right?
That's another thing on my head. I thought I was done with all that paperwork. I'm like, and then they call up and they're like, the physical is not good enough. And meanwhile, it's a 3-page printed thing that the doctor gave for Brandon, his yearly physical. But apparently that's not good enough. So I've got to start all over with that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's always something.
Lovely.
But so who's on your next show? You want to promote it?
That's a good question. Let's see. Fat Jay is our headliner. You ever
Oh,
see him?
I was just in a
He's
show.
hysterical. He's so funny.
I was just he hosted the main stage in a show on Thursday, and I was in the show with him, and
Very
he did an
funny guy.
amazing
Yeah, he's
job.
great. Joe Milonis is in it. Can't remember the rest.
And I'm sorry, what date did you say
Everything's
that
written
was?
down. That's
The May 16th?
Tuesday, May 16th, 8 o'clock, free show. I always recommend if people are going to come, make reservations because it really does fill up. And you've both been there. Only the front tables can really see the stage well. There's a bunch of tables at the back, but you're looking like with binoculars. So make reservations. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You have kids. What's your favorite thing about being a parent?
Watching them grow up, watching them become good human beings. My kids are very funny. I mean, they're all really, really funny, and we laugh a lot. They get my sense of humor, and they picked up some stuff from their mom and some stuff from me, and they got my sense of humor, fortunately. They love fart jokes. They love anything. They love to laugh. Yeah, they're just my kids are sweet. So
That's
they,
good.
Are they grown?
yeah. I have a 22-year-old and 2 20-year-olds.
He has twins also.
Who'll be
Bonnie
20
has
Oh.
twins.
Yeah,
I didn't
they'll be
realize
21
that.
in August. Yeah.
So boy,
Same
girl,
thing, boy and a
twins.
girl,
Yeah. Yep. And I never wanted kids. I'm like, I don't want kids. It's awful. And they're too expensive. Blah blah blah. But got married, fell
And then
in
you
love.
got 2 for the price of 1.
Exactly right. But I I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 5 or 6 years. I was sitting them down, and one of them said that, it was one of those times when I had to have a talk with them, and one of them said, "Daddy, you're my best friend." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not your friend. I'm your father. That being your friend is not my job." And it was like a year later when I said, "Remember when I told you I wasn't your friend? You guys are my best friends, absolutely. I adore. They really are my best friends in the world."
You have to be the in charge of them until they're adults, and then you have to hope that you did a good job, and then you could be their friend. Like now,
Exactly.
now that my daughter is 24, like after this, she went out and she bought coconut mix, and she's going to be making up coconut and lime, and she's going to be making us some kind of cocktail with that. And we go out to restaurants together. We went to the seafood restaurant together, and now she's my friend. But when she was a kid, I was tough on her, because if you don't learn the word no from your parent, you're going to learn the word no from the school. You're going to learn the word no from the police.
Yes, exactly.
So your job as a parent is to teach them responsibility, and you could be kind and try to be kind when you do it, but you're like, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I considered my job to turn them into magnificent human beings.
They have
nothing else, not
yes.
to be their pal. And it turned out I am, and I adore our relationship, but it was very different than my ex-wife, who lived in fear of them ever saying, "I hate you, Mommy," or not being their friend.
Well, there's always a good cop, bad cop, right? So
yeah, I guess.
Not completely. Sometimes you switch roles, but
Well, it was just that I didn't care if they were my friend. That wasn't my job. I had to make them into human beings that could function in the world. And so far, 2 out of 3 are doing really well, and the other one's going to come around too. They're all good.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
they're the
good.
best.
So Nancy Weems said there's dogs running everywhere, but some of them, some of them are on leaches.
In Long Beach, she's talking about?
No, I think she's talking about where she's from.
Oh, got it.
And then they have a place where they let them, like a doggy
run?
park.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ever take your dog to a doggy park?
I don't, because then I have to deal with other people.
Oh, and other dogs.
I love dogs. I just don't like people.
But you never.
You two are
dogs
great, but
predictable.
most people.
What's something on your bucket list?
Travel to Japan.
Okay.
Netflix special, that'd be great. Not sure that one's going to happen, but yeah, I'd like to go to Japan. I've always been fascinated by Japanese culture and samurai and temples. I'm kind of a spiritual guy, so I love that kind of stuff. On my trip to Rome, I thought that the Colosseum was going to be the highlight, and it was amazing. But the Vatican, have you ever been?
No.
I'm not just not religious, I'm anti-religion. The Vatican was
It's beautiful.
unbelievable. It was amazing. Just real.
I went to Europe a long time ago, and the thing that is big, I don't know what it is like now. This was years ago. Everywhere you went, there was a gorgeous church.
Everywhere.
Like with the stained glass, mosaics and everything, and it was impressive. But after a while, I'm like, okay, another church, and it's cool, but I don't know. I'd rather go to Las Vegas.
You like to gamble?
No.
See, I don't gamble
I
at
just
all.
like the fun atmosphere.
Yeah, I love Vegas.
So my boyfriend.
My mom and
said,
sister live there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're hookers.
And teach
Just kidding.
teach kids to be fat friendly, or Big J will teach them on the street. That's one of Jay's jokes. Yeah. Michelle Astor is tuning in. Hi, Michelle. Your mom said tell them about Japan.
Oh, well, when I was 19, I went to Japan for my friend. Her and I managed the rugby team together, and she was.
You went to Japan for that?
Yeah, well,
That is cool.
She was
Wow.
like, "Come on, just come stay with me. It'll be fun. It's cheap to fly." It was like, I think she was like, flights are like $700 right now. I'm pretty sure is what it ended up being, and she lived right outside Tokyo, so she took me around Tokyo for a couple days, and then we took a train the trains go like 300 miles an hour. It's super
Yeah, they
fast
got bullet
train.
trains.
Oh my God.
So we went like to
Everywhere has
3
bullet
hour
trains except us.
You could eat off the floor in the subway there. It's like
Oh, I've heard.
everything is so organized, and that makes sense. But then we went to Kyoto, which is the countryside. Amazing. My friend, she's actually I still keep in touch with her. She doesn't live in Japan right now, but it was an awesome experience.
It's a
It's a great
different
place.
culture.
Yeah. I had said to Glenn, I was like, I would bring you back there because I've been to Ireland. It's like, it's cool, but if I were to go back, that would be go there first.
Yeah, that's the next place on my bucket list. I have no desire to go to France. I've been to London more than once for business. What was cool there is, everything's so old, and here everything's new. So that was cool.
It's like it's a
Buckingham
different
Palace, I
culture.
wasn't impressed, but Big Ben and Parliament, all those buildings, very, very cool.
I like the soldiers with that they
like
can't
it?
smile.
Oh, that's cool.
That was pretty cool. And we were like going like this. It's like idiots. I was in college when I went there. Your mom said that you went to Disney there. There's a Disney in Japan?
They have Disneyland, which is, it's kind of like a hybrid of a couple of the Disney parks together.
Oh, wow.
So they have like Cinderella's Castle. It's not like Animal Kingdom and Epcot and all those. It's Disneyland. But yeah, no,
But it's like the same logos, like,
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun because I've never been to Disney in the States. I've only been to Disney there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Was it super expensive? Because Disney here is super expensive.
I think it was like
Yes.
comparable to probably what it is here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as Japan, I was offered to go on a free trip to China through my school, but I would have to work there. It was like a 3-week trip, and my friend went. I was married at the time, and my ex, who's now my ex, said, "You are not leaving me with these kids for 3 weeks. There's no way." And it was a free trip. But my friend who did go said that when you are an American coming to China, and I'm going to ask about Japan, you're like a celebrity.
In China?
Yeah.
I just
She
want to
was
go
a
there to see if they have any
celebrity.
good Jewish deli.
Because my friend is, I'm short, but my friend is tall, tall for a woman. And when they would go out, everybody would want to take photos of them.
Wow.
They would take like they're like Madonna or something.
Oh my God.
So did you notice that in Japan?
No, not so much. I thought what was interesting was everybody's like mother could at least say hi, how you doing, how long are you here for? Like everyone had like basic English down. Like I got around without speaking, I know kawaii, like like a couple things. but-
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, so and like I know a couple of things. But anyways, so that I was surprised by, and I was also surprised by at one point we were going to go to this, it's like I forgot the word for it, but it's like a spa, and it's all women go, there's a men's side and then there's women, and you literally everyone's naked and in the same like pool and in the same shower and in the same like area, and I have a tattoo the entire side of my body. Like I was really nervous. I'm like, this this means you're trash in their culture. Like tattoo is so like disgrace
Japan?
upon your family. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I thought they're very big on
But
tattoos, no?
If you're in like the fucking gang, yes. But if you're not it's,
you're not
it's
Yakuza?
it's showing it's like a Yakuza. It's not just a. It's not like here where America like nerds get tattoos in America. Like,
Everybody
has
gets
a
now.
tattoo.
Now it's more rare not to have a tattoo.
Exactly.
So I'm one of the rare ones.
Yeah, I know, Glenn, too.
I'm a purebred.
Purist. And
A
so I
purist.
was so nervous because I was like, oh my God, I have a tattoo. Like, I can't cover it. Like, and she was like, you're American. She's like, they just judge Japanese people with tattoos. She's like, they know that that's your culture and they don't look at you. And then I was like, oh, okay, that was comforting because I was nervous. And she was like, no, you're American. It's not trashy to that. Like, it's like how when you see, facial piercings on like Indian women here, it's not the same as when you see a punk girl here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
it's
a
the
different
part of the
look.
culture.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
different culture. They know
Right.
you're from a different culture.
But it was interesting. And I tried a bunch of foods that I would never try here. Like literally stuff that just looked like live minnows.
Wow.
Like just a ball of rice with just like minnows on top of it. Like, okay.
Wriggling?
One of the cool things we did do was they have like, it's almost like a diner, and there's a conveyor belt, a big conveyor belt that goes around the whole place, and there's all different color plates. And like a red plate will have like 4 little dumplings, a yellow plate has
cool.
2, one has just like a piece of salmon, and each color means a different price. Maybe $5, $4, $3. And just as it goes by, I go, oh, this one looks good, let's try this, let's try that. And then they just keep coming and taking
That
your
is a
plates,
cool idea.
And they
Yeah.
tally how, I know, they really should do it
They
here
should
in
do
the
it
US.
here.
It would be cool. Some french fries go by, some chicken finger, just all like dim sum, but I don't think they call it, it's not dim sum.
Like
there.
little
Dim sum
little
is
portions.
Chinese. Yes.
I love
And
that.
you just we try 4 pieces, 2 pieces. Oh, that one was good. When it comes around again. It was really cool, and like you said, they really should do it here.
They should.
It would be cool.
And it would be considered like very clean because you're just grabbing the plate, as opposed to a buffet where
there's
you're
no
kind of
touching.
over it.
Yeah, nobody's touching your stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that is cool. My parents went to China and they loved it, and one of the things that they thought was so weird as far as the culture goes is there's so many people in China that when they took the subway there, they have a person whose job it is. They have a big broom, and they have to shove the people in so the doors close.
I've seen that.
Can you imagine that in our culture?
I'll be like, I'll take the next train. Get in there.
So Timothy Thompson said, "Who's in the hot seat tonight?" So, this is Jeff Goldberg.
Hi, Tim. You were in my show last month?
Oh.
That might be a different Tim Thompson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Timothy.
Ah, okay.
Timothy,
Yeah.
not Tim.
Tim was in my
I don't
Long Beach
think-
show.
I don't
He's so
think
funny.
Tim
You know
Thompson.
Tim Thompson, right?
I know.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
who he is.
Very
Of
funny
course.
guy.
Yeah, he's great.
So you want to read the our sponsor for us?
Keys Love Jewelry and Keys Cutlery.
Yes.
Stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Knives, swords, and self-defense equipment. Ooh, excellent quality for reasonable prices. Shop online, keyslovejewelry.com and keyscutlery.com. They've got a new location. Retro Relics, 2860 Middle Country Road in Lake Grove, New York. And here's their phone number, 631-379-1781. Keys Love Jewelry and Keys Cutlery.
You have a good radio voice.
I've been told that many times.
Really?
I've also been told I have a face for radio.
I wouldn't even have known that you didn't practice that. That seemed like you knew you were going to do that the whole time.
I've had many
I
people tell me I
sprung
should be
that
on the
on him.
radio
That
many
was-
times.
That was like a professional.
That was, very, very professional. Very
Thank you so
nice.
much. I'm a professional speaker. If I can't speak, then I'm in trouble.
Any other things you want to promote or anything else coming up?
Yeah,
What
we're
are you
coming
looking
down to the
forward
last
to?
2 minutes.
What am I looking forward to? I'm always looking forward to the weekend. That's lovely. I'm looking forward to anybody who wants to put me on a stage so I can talk to people and be funny. I was telling you before Bonnie got here, I got a call the other day from a guy who actually, did you take stand-up university?
I did. I
So-
took both of them.
Yeah, me too. So I took it with a guy a year ago, I guess, and he calls me up the other day and goes, "Hey, I'm having a birthday blowout at my house, and I hired Rich Walker, who we all know and love, to do stand-up there, and he recommended you, Jeff, to host it. Would you like to do that?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Cool."
Oh, cool.
Yeah, wait a minute, it gets better.
Uh-oh.
He goes, "And there's been an HBO documentary filmmaker following me around, this guy, my friend, for a year, filming the story of my life, and he'll be there that day filming it." I'm like, "I'm going to be in an HBO documentary?" He goes, "Yes, you are." What's the date? It's the date of my daughter's graduation from college.
No.
I can't go. Yep.
Oh.
So I'm not going to the graduation.
My
It'd be an
daughter's
HBO documentary. Come on.
my daughter's graduation college was canceled because of COVID.
Oh.
It was at Buffalo, so part of me was actually relieved. I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Oh my God!
She
Did
was
they-
That's a hike.
Did they do something online, like
They
virtual
they put
something for
they
them?
put everyone's photo online.
No,
And-
it's not the
Yeah,
same.
It's not the same.
No,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
But I
It's
I
tough.
was
The kids
I was
got
like
ripped off.
I don't have to ride a plane. I don't have to I was going through a divorce at the time. I don't have to, be with my ex. So I was okay with it. I was like, I just felt bad for my daughter. So
course.
then she went to grad school at Post, and we made a big deal out of that graduation. She went full time for 2 years.
Nice.
So when she graduated, we came, and it was right on Long Island. No, we took her to a nice restaurant, and that was that.
Yeah, well, I got a 7-hour drive to Virginia for this one, but it's worth it.
Oh,
She's
wow.
worked very hard. She's a great student. She's getting a great degree and all good.
Yeah,
I'll pass it up. I can pass up hosting a show with Rich Walker.
Absolutely. That's only going to be once in a lifetime.
Absolutely. And when I told him, "Hey, Rich, I'd love to do this, but I can't," he goes, "Don't worry, there'll be more." I said, "More people with HBO documentaries where I'm hosting? Okay, let's see." That's on my bucket list.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh my God! Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for
course.
coming, and we'll see you at the Shore House.
Absolutely.
Show, guys.
Bye. Share the show.